So, one more second. Forgot to do one thing. Come on, mouse. Cooperate. Okay, pop over to here. That in. And let me grab this. And we'll put that down there. Okay. So there's that. There's that. I should be. Yep, that's going there. Backwards that. Okay. Okay. Alright, so gonna do something for a few minutes here before we get started. Okay, cool. Alright, so this is my main, obviously. This is not my this is not Soulsnuffer. This is my main. We're gonna be showing one of our fellow challengers the path that I take through Warlords of Draenor a few minutes before we actually get started with Soulsnuffer today. So I'm gonna use her because she's out there and nothing's gonna aggro on her while I do this, and it's just gonna be easier to physically show you're welcome. It's gonna be easier to show this person physically than try to walk them through it in a written form. It's not that overly complicated of a path to take, but it's specific because you're kind of dodging certain mobs. Draenor can be a pain in the ass. I've found this path in Shadow Moon Valley through trial and error with a scout that I took through. There's a lot of mobs out here that like to group aggro. So you'll have cluster mobs, like you'll have a pack of wolves here, you'll have a pack of elephants here, you'll have, you know, what the hell else is out here? I don't know. Little leafy dudes. Now I know there's one spot that Too Thirsty preferred, but I was a little hesitant to go down in there because I felt like the mobs were a little too thick and there were some running ones that kind of made me nervous, if that's the spot that I think he was referring to when he said he was down in there. I know some other people like to do their own thing out here. This is the one that I found that works best for me. So we'll see if we can at least show our friend Paf here that I take. So yeah, cluster aggro is bad, and you're doing this on a warrior, right? So gonna have to be a little careful. Now some of the mobs in my path, I've taken mostly range through here. So I know you have what the hell is it? Heroic throw that you can use to kind of pull them to you. The ones that are further at range you can just skip. You don't, they're optional, quotation mark. You don't really have to get those. So basically you're gonna go to Timeless Isle to get out here. For those unfamiliar with how Draenor works for bloodthirsty challengers. So you're gonna go to Pandaria. You're gonna go out to Timeless Isle. Very carefully. You're going to either have to swim or use a water mount, unless you have water shoes for your mount, in which case you can just run on the water. But if you don't have the water shoes, you can use like the sea turtle or you know, any of your water friendly mounts, I mean, if you don't have a water-friendly mount, then you could swim, or you could just use another mount, you know, whatever. However you choose to do it. So I come into, what is this, Tushi Landing? And then carefully, because you've got the whale shark that's out here on the edge, work your way through in the water between the land in here and, you know, the whale shark out here. Hopefully none of these rares are up when you come through. If the water elemental's up, you might have to kind of wait for somebody to come and kill it. I wouldn't advise touching it unless you think you can get around him. So you're gonna come down around the coast. You're gonna go around that little picture of the whale there. You're gonna go around the island here and get to where the pirate ship is in the water. Under the pirate ship, you're gonna have to go down. There's a cave under the water. It's not too far down. You should be fine. And once you get in there and you get up out of the water, you know, there's an air pocket. And there's a campfire. And you run up to the campfire, you sit your butt down in the chair, and then you click the fire, and then you'll be in Gorgrond. I think they took away the one from fishing. I still have the one from fishing. So, they took away my one from fishing. I have to get that thing from Nat for that thing to work. As iron, I can't... Yeah, yeah, some challengers have the rep from Nat to get it. I don't know if you can buy it off auction house. I don't think you can. But, you know, some people had it mailed to them. I have this sea turtle from fishing in Northrend that went account wide, so I use that when I can't have access to a water walking mount. It's still there. I also have a couple other mounts that I have since fished up that are like water only kind of mounts that get you through the water faster, like the weird little shark thing from Legion, I think. From the guy that's on the island with the... I think there's an elemental over there or something. I don't know. And, so let me see. So, yeah, I still should have the sea turtle. It's just straight sea turtle. Yeah, there he is. This guy. That's just from fishing. He's an on-chance catch from pools in Northrend. And he's account wide. So, I mean, if you've got that, that'll work. If not, you'll just have to swim it. But, yeah, so... Nope. There we go. So, I mean, getting down there into the cave, click the blue fire after you sit in the chair, and you'll be teleported to Gorgrond. Now, when you get to Gorgrond, you're kind of up in the air, alright? So, you're on this, like, little, rock formation at a campfire there. Now, let me come into Draenor, Gorgrond. I'm trying to remember where it drops you. I almost think it's here, but I can't fully remember. I mean, I could go back there and start from the beginning, but yeah, the Angler's Water Strider thingy. Yeah, the Water Strider thingy doesn't walk anymore unless you have the shoes now. So, yeah, you know, I could just do that. Let me think here for a second. How do I want to do this? That's Snug Harbor, that's Darlaran, that's McGarrison, that's the shipyard. Okay, so let's go... yeah, let me show you how to get out here, because if you've never been this far, me just saying it's gonna be a little weird. So my main Hearthstone's in Borealis, so we'll hop from from Borealis to Stormwind to Pandaria, and then I'll fly over to Timeless Isle, and we'll show you from the very beginning, because it sounds a little confusing when it's being talked through, so sometimes it's a little easier to see it. Are you cooking something?
No, I did have a turkey bacon.
It smelled like tomato sauce or something.
I did also have a Slim Jim.
That's what it is. The smell of that keeps throwing me off every time you have one. No, it's fine. It just, I'm like, that's an odd smell. Because I'm not used to smelling it, so. And, oh. Why can't I move? Oh, because it's still loading me. That's why. I'm a little slow to load into Borealis here. Okay, so let me get in here. I guess Stormwind's going to be the easiest. You think you have flying for the account? Yeah, Draenor you have to go through, you have to get Pathfinder 1 and 2. That's where they started doing that Pathfinder nonsense. I did not have flying when I started this path. It was before they took water walking away from the water strider, so I had just walked on the water all the way down to Shadow Moon Valley. So I mean it is swimmable. It's gonna take you a few minutes, but it is swimmable. If you don't have the flying for Draenor. So, I mean, it's not like you have to have it to do this. This is the path that I took Soul Shield through, the Warlock through. The Demon Hunter was Horde, and they were a whole nother ball of issues. So, that's why I was asking Zaya, is like, is this for Horde or Alliance? Because Horde I'm not gonna be much help for, because the only high level Horde that I've taken through Draenor, even slightly, was the Demon Hunter, and that was only to get enough kills so that I was green flagged going on the list. But yeah, we'll pop over to Timeless and do a swim through, I guess, of how to get down there. I think, yeah, I've got the brine deep bottom feeder. And this one has water walking, but it's because she's my main, so she's done everything. I'm just using her for simplicity's sake. But yeah, the paladin did have to hoof it all the way down from Gorgrond on the water, so I mean it would have been no different swimming it. She was right down in there. Because I did not blah 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 blah. I can't talk today. I did not have flying when I started the paladin's adventure. I think I only recently... How long ago did I get flying unlocked for... I don't remember. Pathfinder, Broken Isles... It wasn't that long ago. I was certainly late to the party finishing it. Oh yeah, that paladin. Well, it was a Draenei, so you know, she needed a spa day for her feet. But yeah, no, I'm overly cautious with all of my challengers because of the amount of time it takes to level a Bloodthirsty, even with Winds of Wisdom right now. It's been a little daunting getting through BFA twice back to back. So I'm like, okay, I'm ready for a break now. But I'll be taking a small break on the Bloodthirsty challenge. Whatever happens with Soulsnuffer. Probably until Shadowlands hits, because I'm going to be busy doing some testing. Hopefully I can get into beta. Because we've got some testing to do for WoW challenges, so I'm going to be very busy on that end, and I'll be streaming that if I get in. I did not get into alpha. I was not one of the cool kids, sadly. Hopefully, fingers crossed for beta access so we can get some testing done. Some very much needed testing. So we're not scrambling at the very end to get mountains of stuff checked off the list. But I'll be focusing on my pacifist once Soulsnuffer's journey is concluded one way or another, whether she makes it or not. Probably by the end of July. I think the last week of July I've got earmarked for Soulsnuffer's journey to finish. Hopefully it doesn't finish prematurely. If it does, it does. That's the way things go. It's going to be very painful if that happens. No, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I was really hoping my information had been submitted. But I did not get to go to beta. I mean alpha, excuse me. Alright, so we're in Timeless Isle. And we're very carefully gonna do this. Okay, cool. Somebody killed the crabs, so we're good there. I would definitely, you know, be very careful if they're still up. I would probably try to hang out there at the flight point until somebody does come along and kill them. I don't know how busy Wormrest Accord's Timeless Isle is, because I'm not on Wormrest Accord. I'm on a normal server, so I'm kind of lumped together with a bunch of other people. So you do have that guy down there. I don't think they have that big of an aggro radius, but I would not, you know, make it a point to swim right over them either. So there's another one. And then you've got that guy down there. But you just don't want to, like, hug the coast too hard, because then you do have a couple of mobs up in here. That's, I think, for... There's the whale... No, that's a regular shark. I don't know where the whale shark is currently, but he does swim by. Sorry, I forgot I was zoomed in a little. Alright, so we're going to keep going. At this point, we are here on the map. Just at the end of the cranes here. We're going to go a little bit further. Yeah, Russell thinks he saw something about betas coming soon. So, I'm hopeful that I will get in. I gotta make sure I check my email. I've got 2 separate emails, so... Technically 3, but I don't remember my password for the 3rd one, so I hope nobody sends me anything there. Okay, we're not going in there. We're gonna keep going by. We're gonna go around this thing. Go around this island. Oh man, Ordos, you just scared the crap out of me. I've got my earbuds in and all of a sudden he just like yelled in my ear. Like, what? He's like nowhere near me, but he scared the shit out of me. Okay, so we're gonna come around this rock thing. There's the pirate ship. So you're gonna cut between the rock and the pirate ship. And you can kind of... Let me see here. See where that crab is in this one? They're on top of the cave. Right where my mouse is. You can kind of see a dark section and a lighter section. That's the mouth of the cave. So we're gonna go straight down. Oh wait. Yeah, I'm just above it. There we go. And you'll have a breath bar, but there's an air pocket in here. You'll get dismounted because you're coming inside. Yes, frogs are very bad. Very bad frogs. Do not want. Don't click these things. Just carefully get your butt in the chair. And then go ahead and touch the fire. And then that will put us in Draenor. Okay, so now we're in Draenor. Standing in the campfire. And it's an identical 4-chair and blue fire. So, yeah, we're kind of on a rock formation. Where does it drop us exactly? Oh, it dropped us up higher than I thought it did. I thought we dropped here. We're actually up here. There is... I don't know if you can get to this flight point, though. Although it's not going to help you. Even if you do get to that flight point safely, nothing's connected to it. Because you don't know any other flight points out here. So you're stuck. You're gonna kind of have to swim. Oh. So we're up here. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop that down for a sec. Let me see how we're getting off of here. I think we just have to jump. Like, I don't think there's actually a way down. Nope, we gotta jump. Okay. I would actually try to jump. It's not slide, because I don't know if that would do damage to a lower level character. I lost my turtle. There it is. Forgot where I put it. Okay. Let me get my map out. Alright, so the goal here is to get to Shadow Moon Valley. So we're as far north as north can be. And it is going to be faster to go this way than to go that way. So you do have to be careful that you don't hit the fatigue line. You might in a couple spots, but it would only be for a second or two. It wouldn't be for very long. Like, you should not have your fatigue bar dump out, and that's just if you're being super, super careful. So we're gonna... I guess I should, like, leave the map up, so... If you have your map up and you swim forward a little bit, it should fade out. And we're gonna sort of follow the coastline down at a distance, because we don't want to make friends with anything. I don't think I had anyone that was really Warlord's level that I could do this with. So she's probably about the easier one to take out here. So I mean, it's gonna take a few minutes. Definitely don't auto swim this, because the way the coastline goes, then you will end up fatiguing out. And there are mobs out here. So we're trying to stay clear of this guy. He's showing as a gold dragon to me. He might have actually been a rare at one point. I can't remember. Or was he a quest? I don't know. He doesn't look like something you want to mess with, so... You have flying to see if... I have flying to see if time... Oh, okay. Yeah, if you have flying for Draenor, then I can fly. So you can, oh yeah, he was a rare. So you're just basically gonna follow the coastline down carefully. And, like, over in here, you could probably skip hugging the coast in here and just kind of, like, ba-doop around. Like, it's not gonna take, like, an hour or anything, but if you're swimming, probably a half an hour. See, like, there's a fish there you just want to be careful of. You know, just watch your deeper watercolor. Make sure that's not gonna put you... Yeah, there's another rare there you just want to be careful of. I mean, you could probably just swing out a little bit further to avoid that one. 'Cause I'm actually a little bit close here. I would be out further if I was actually in the water. There is Tannin Jungle. I don't know about any horde cities themselves right in through here. Like up here you have to watch Black Rock Foundry, which is why I was saying come this way and come down. That one's further inland. Bastion's Rise might be something to just keep an eye on. This looks like a neutral flight point. Yeah, that's in Tannin. So I think you just really want to be careful the closer you get to Tannin. If you're flying, I would stay close to the water, honestly. So if you do get dismounted, you don't have far to fall. And you'll be falling into water instead of hard ground. Now this, be careful. Because you have that little entrance as you're coming around the corner. So, like, if you cut over here, now this is the start of Tannin up here. Don't fly too close to that. I think you might be okay, but I don't ever get very close to find out. So as long as you're out here, you're fine. I just wouldn't go that close in there. And I don't know if that would dismount you, but I'm not that far off the top of the water either, so I never get that close to the coastline. I know some like to be a little more adventurous and get some exploration XP. I'm actually gonna bump off the coast here just a little bit. There we go. It makes me feel a little bit better when I can actually see what's happening here. Yeah, so I mean, anything that looks like Iron Horde-ish or Orc-ish, I'm like, no, thanks. I'm good. So it's like, I'll be out over here. So I'm like kind of out on the water line here. I think if I go any further out, I might start hitting the fatigue line. But I tend to be a pretty decent distance off of the coast for safety reasons. Like where I'm at now, I don't think anything's ever bothered me. Just kind of have to carefully maneuver around the mushrooms. Never really had an issue with the stuff in this section. You do end up going past part of Ashran, but it's never PvP flagged me. I think this might be Ashran out here. So I don't get that close to it though. That might be Storm Shield. That's up to you if you want to try to get in there to get the flight points. I honestly will tell you up front, once I get into Shadow Moon Valley, I never leave. I am there from 90 to 98. I don't leave to go to auction house. I don't leave to go anywhere. I just want to be there and be done. Oh wow, so yeah, I'm pretty far out here. I mean, you could probably get over there and pick up the flight point. Yeah, because it says Ashram, but that's Storm Shield right there. So that's like the auction house. Yeah, that's Storm Shield. So I mean, you could probably pop in there and grab the flight point if you really wanted to. I have to figure out where the heck I am now. Where am I? Okay, yeah, I mean, you'd have to deviate a little bit, so I went a little too far out, but just have to come back a little bit so I don't get the fatigue line. Yeah, 90 to 98, I just stay there. And at level 98, wait, did it PvP flag me? Hold on. Okay, so it gave me my honor bar at the bottom, that's that red bar, but I'm not actually PvP flagged. Just stay on your mount, you'll be fine. Because I'd have no PvP timer ticking. So at level 98, when you ding, you know, after you put yourself in the inn and you're safe, log out, then log back in. When you log back in, you'll have a quest pop up that's talking about going to Legion and that you have to go back to Stormwind to talk to like some guy at the docks, right? He starts your if you go talk to that guy on a normal character, he would start your Legion intro scenario. That quest that tells you to go back to Stormwind actually gives you an item that if you click it will teleport you to Stormwind. And that's how I get back to Stormwind safely without leaving Shadowmoon Valley once I get there. So, you know, just watch Oldham, because I don't know if Oldham changes at 90. I don't know. I always left there at 90, and now with the new stuff, like what the hell is it? Like the new corrupted, well, not really new, but the corrupted stuff that they brought in there, I don't know if that's a 110 or 120 thing. I'm not sure when the zone changes over. You might be okay at 92. I would scout that if you have someone. Because I can't remember if that stuff started at 120 or if it was at 110. I know some zones switch over at 90, but I'm thinking that's Blasted Lands is 90. So many zones like morph when you hit certain achievement levels. Yeah, I'm not sure if it changes at 90. I would double check that. I don't think it does. I have a level 100. We can take a look. Because if it changed at 90, it should be changed for her. So we're right about here. This is Tannen. And this is Shadowmoon, so that right there is Shadowmoon Valley. You have a level 100. You've been scouting for... Yeah, I don't know what level Oldham changes at. I don't know. I haven't had one in there since the changes came in. I have a 100 I can pop on if we need to, but if you've got a 100, you would see the same thing. Because if it changed at 90, it should be changed at 100 for that character. I know Zadormi is in the city. Is in the Ramekin. I think that's what it is. The main alliance city there. Or no, it's a neutral city, I guess. WoD does fly into there too. So yeah, I mean, if you're in the town and in the inn and you come out and it's changed, she's there to change it back. It's just if you're out on your own. Although I don't really know what changes out there. I've done no endgame stuff. Okay, so, you know, we just kind of scooted over. We were like right about here. I just kind of cut over. And, into where all the big mushrooms are popped up in Umberfen. And, if you don't have flying for Draenor, you can come in a little bit further down on the beach. You just have to be really careful. And from here, we're going to go through Sarah's Vale. Stay. You don't want to be up high in this zone. Hang on. Let me come back here. Let me land for a second. Oh, there's Potato. So when you come in and you're done flying, I would at least on your flying mount, and you can see why directly in front of me in the distance. On your flying mount, if you do have flying for Draenor, I would get on the ground and be on like the road, but still be on your flying mount in case you needed to pop up if something decided you looked tasty. At least like right in through here, because if you're up too high, these guys will aggro on you while you're flying. And there's a couple flocks of them. And they are another cluster mob that you have to be careful for. So let me see if I can find them. Let's see, is this the pet person? Where's the pet battle person? Pet battle person. Where you be? The pet battle person. Oh, I'm on the wrong hill. Yes? No. Yes. No. Where's the pet battle person? Am I this dumb? Yes, I am. Because pet battle person is here. I am dumb. I was a couple hills over. They fly through, like, that's one of them. Right there, going by. There's a flock of like 3 or 4 that travel together. I don't see them. I saw them when I was standing on the road. I don't know where they went now. But they are out here, so you do have to make sure you don't fly into them. There's also a rare flying around out here that looks like a weird serpent dragon thingy. But that's like over closer towards the garrison area. And on your Bloodthirsty, you're not going to have access to the garrison. So, you know, that is what it is. It's just not gonna happen. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, look. Num nums. Alright, so you're basically gonna work to get over here to Umbari Village. So where was Umberfen? So where did we come in? We came in about down in here. Where did we come in? That's not where we came in. Yeah, we came in up here. Sorry. We just kind of fly straight over to Umbari. Umbari is going to be a good place to be. You've got a flight point here. You've got a mailbox in case you did have anything that you need to send out. There are some vendors here, like around in spots, if you don't have the vendor mount. So, he doesn't want to be a vendor. There are a couple vendors in here, I swear. So yeah, there's a vendor. Trade goods. Is there no repair person here? Could have swore there was. There's some more oh yeah, here's a repair person, vendor. So I mean, you just kind of have to wander the village a little bit. You can hearthstone to here. There is an inn over here by the mailbox. And this little defender dude. So, lamplighter inn. You can't buy anything from the innkeeper, but you can set your hearthstone here. So that's one thing. Alright, so my loop out here, getting into the bones of it, is taking the back way out in Bari. And heading down this path. Get to this signpost, gonna go this way. Go this way around the curve. And then where this signpost is, take a left and come up here. So, these talbucks in here are pretty good for XP. They are part of the stable train to ride a talbuck quest, so you will have people that come up and lasso them and run away with them sometimes. They've got an okay spawn rate, so usually by the time I start at one end and get to the other, like within maybe 2 or 3 minutes of having them all dead, they start to respawn. Sometimes I'll start to kill these and then move on my path. Sometimes I'll save these for the end of my path. Sometimes you can do them at the beginning and the end. These guys don't drop any loot though. They give you better XP than some of the stuff in my loop, but they don't give you any goodies. No vendor trash, nothing. Because they're sort of a quest thing. So from here, I come up this little hill, and then I get that guy. And then there's that one. And that one. And that one. And then in the back there, you got that one. You can really do it any order you prefer. I usually go skull, X, moon, then the square one, and then the triangle, just because of the way it looks like they walk close enough to maybe aggro each other, so I don't want two on me. Just gives me some more room to work. That's just how I've pulled them. And then after triangles down, come up here onto the road, and then this guy, and that guy. And then when they're down, this one, and then that one. Or vice versa, whichever one's closer to you. There are times where there's a scripted event happening here for people working on the quest. You may have some horde type looking NPCs outlined in orange spawn in on top of you, like right here in the corner. These guys. See if I can run in here and get a better look at them. Like, there's times where these guys will spawn in and run up here, but that's only when somebody's working on the quest. Excuse me. Yeah, so there goes another one running past me. From back here, there's a couple more. They have never, ever, ever aggroed on me while I'm out here on my Bloodthirsty, because I've been killing the wolves here in front of me, and I've seen them pop up and run through me and into the little quest area there. Never batted an eye at me, never cared about me, so that's fine. Don't panic. I don't even think they're targetable if you're not on the quest, but just, you know, watch your AoE if you do see them pop up. You know, I've never AoE'd when they were there, so, but I've never actually been able to target them, to hit them. but they've always left me alone. So just watch the AoE if they pop up right next to you. So after those two are down, and this one's already dead, I come up here, following the road. Then this one. This one. And this one. So 1, 2, 3. And then this guy is 4. There is one up here. He's an optional. You don't have to get him. Well, actually, everything in the path's optional if you feel like you can deal with it or not. He's kind of out of the way for a melee. If you feel like pulling him to you, you can. You can pull him from about here. You don't have to go all the way up. Well, that's how far my spells would go to pull him. I don't know about the range on Heroic Throw or Taunt. Not sure what spec you're in. But whether you choose to kill that one or not, that's, you know, whatever. And after this one's dead, then I move up to this guy. And then this one. And keep going on the road. And then you've got... Don't get close to this camp. Stay over here. There's a whole bunch of stuff in there that we don't want to deal with as a bloodthirsty. Trust me, we don't want it. You should be fine as long as you hug this side. So, like, after you kill that one, that moth with the star on it, just, you know, stay on this side of the road. I've never had them aggro on me. Even at 90. And then get that guy. Is this where I dove down? Yes. Okay, so after that one was done, yeah, these guys, that's 7k at level 100. Oh, really? You're gonna... So that's it at level 100. So level 90, it'll be a little bit less. So he didn't want to cooperate. So after he's dead, then this one. And there's a friend behind this mushroom here. That one. This one, then that one. The spores might disorient you, so if you have something that you can kill them with from a distance, fine. If not, just watch your step. It's not that bad, so like if you walk into them or if they explode next to you, I think they do a little bit of damage when they explode. I mean, it doesn't really do anything to my 120, but watch that guy. He's an elite. He's never aggroed on me though. So this one, that one with the X, this one, and this one if you can pull it at range. If you can't pull him at range, no big deal, just skip him. And then that one. And that one. Now, when those are done, follow the edge of the water. Now, if it takes you a minute to kill stuff, like if you're in combat for a little bit, if you're not a quick killer, there's a chance that the moths and the wolves that you killed on your way down on the road have respawned, which if that's the case, cool, more XP. So then you would just pull this one again and this one here behind the rock, and then this guy here with the blue square still on him, and then the two wolves, that one, and then that guy walking around in the back. And after that one's done, when you come around the corner, that one, that one. When you come down here, you've got this guy. He'll pop up out of the water the second you pop down here and attack you. And then you've got this one here. He pops up out of the water. You can deal with him, no big deal. You don't have to get in the water for him. And then this guy. From there, very carefully step up here. I say very carefully just so you don't pull him too soon before you're ready. Oh, that's okay. That's all right. This will be up for being a VOD for a little bit. If you want, I can move the VOD to YouTube tomorrow after it's been 24 hours so that you have it for later to go back and see. But no, that's fine. It's not a big deal. So when you crest the hill here, you're gonna get this one. And he's got a friend there. And then there's one there. And I'm just gonna kind of sidestep here so you can get a better look at what's going on here. So you've got this one right behind the tree. You've got that one there. And this one. Then you've got this guy. If you can pull orange at range, cool. If not, then you can skip him. I would not get up on him though because you have a cluster pack here. So if you can pull him when he walks close to you at range, cool. If you'd rather leave him be, then you can leave him be. You should be fine. Yeah, I was going around the lake, halfway around the lake. Let me pop back on my mount and show you again. So on the road, coming up this way, and stick near the rock. We killed the moth that was here, and then dove down into here, hit this guy, and this one, and if you can pull that one at range, cool. If not, then don't worry about it, because there is an elite that will walk in between these two mushrooms. So if you're a little unsure about pulling the green one, then you can skip it. See, there's the elite. From here, really, buddy? Fine. But from here, you should be able to pull him at range if you're able to. If you're not comfortable, then don't worry about it. Okay, so he doesn't actually come up in between them, but he just goes past them. Okay. And this one, so you're basically double backing on the edge of the water, following the road back, kind of. Like, road's up there, that's the same road that we just, kind of like a hairpin turn, and you're coming back, sort of, but you're not going to get back on the road. And sometimes these guys will be respawned back in which case you can go after them again if you want. And we're going to follow the lake right around to where we can't go any further. Then we hit this wall here, and then we're going to go this way. Oh, I've got time. I've got nowhere to be tonight, Path. I don't care. I've got plenty of time. So then you've got these guys back here behind the tree. So I was saying, X, square, and this one that's unmarked. And then orange if you're comfortable pulling at range. If you have a way to pull him from range. I would just wait till he walks closer to you and away from the cluster pack of wolves back here. Because you probably don't want to get too close to them because there's 3 sitting eating and a 4th one padding. And then this guy here. Yes, potato, yes. You're a little early, potato. Potato the guinea pig. So, kill that one. Come in between these two trees. And then go left. Like a little semicircle. You're basically trying to give yourself plenty of room to get around that pack of mobs. They don't move from there unless you aggro them. They're quite happy to sit there stuffing their face on the talbuck that's there. This one's tricky. I've gotten myself into trouble playing with the square before. You can pull square at range. I would kill Star first, though. And you can pull this one if he walks close enough. Like, I would not pull him where he's at. I would wait till he comes a bit closer. He's kind of like a waiting game. So, you kind of want him to walk maybe around there. Not there. In that spot, he will pull those. So, he might be better left alone, like from right there. That was good, where he was walking towards us at that distance. That was good. He shouldn't pull the other pack at that distance. That distance he will. But he's a little tricky. I would practice pulling him with your scout to get the feel for him. Because I've definitely put myself in a oh fuck me moment where I had to run. And fortunately nothing else was there. And then that guy back there. These guys. These guys are similar to the talbucks that we started out with over in Arbor Glen at the beginning of the loop. However, they are a little different. The babies are awesome to kill. They should not give you one bit of trouble. The chargers might be a pain in the ass for you since you're melee. Although, if you have charge on your warrior, you can probably charge them down. They like to run. Let me see. Hopefully I don't kill him. I killed him. Okay. Let me see. Let me take my weapon off. Let me see if I can punch him to get him to do the thing. I might have to take all my armor off, actually. See, he does that. So, on a warrior, it could be a pain, but then again, if you have charge up and available, it might not be so bad. But he just keeps doing that constantly. And that's just the ones that say charger on them. That's enough of that. Now, the does, which I don't see any of, the does can spell lock you for a split second. Like, they kick you, and you'll have whatever spell school that you were working on get locked up for a second. I would test that first. I know sometimes it's wholly locked me, and I've just had to use power word pain until it came off. It wasn't a very long lock, but that's something I would test. The calves don't do anything out of the ordinary. So these guys I think would be optional, depending on, you know, if you want to deal with the charger nonsense and the doe nonsense. I actually don't see any of the does up right now, so can't really show you effectively what they do. I don't know if you can, I don't know if that can, the charge I don't think can be interrupted. I'm not sure about the does. The does might be interruptible. It's been a while since I've killed these guys. I think the chargers have a shield around the charger where you can interrupt it. I would test it. I would definitely test these guys before putting PAF on them, the charger and the doe. But the little guys are fine. They're not going to give you any trouble. And it's always random what's here. Like, it could be a bunch of babies like it is now. It could be mostly chargers. It could, actually, if we wait around for a second, we might have them respawn. Let's do that. it's a random pool of the 3 that it pulls from to respawn in here. Because these guys are part of like the next step of that training stable quest to ride them. So these guys won't drop any loot either. But they give you more XP than like the wolves that we've killed so far do. The wolves I think give about the lowest XP in this loop. But you do get sumptuous fur from them, which can sometimes sell in auction house depending on your server. I think from level 90 to 98 I had almost 2,000 pieces of sumptuous fur. That was how many fuzzy things I killed. I'm just gonna sit here for a second and see what we get when it comes back. And see if we get a doe. I'm not sure if the charge on the charger was interruptible. I missed it. So charge to start the charger fight and punch. Yeah, I mean, okay, so there, what's this one? Alright, so this is a charger. Let me take my weapon off again, because with that on, I just kind of obliterate him. No, 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 don't you dare, don't you dare. Oh, you suck. And then you have an NPC that will run up and kill and randomly kill the one. Damn it. Yeah, I had about, yeah, I'd say roughly 2,000 pieces of sumptuous fur. That was before Winds of Wisdom buff, but yeah. Alright, so these guys are a little bit slower to respawn than the other Talbuks. But, you know, we'll see. We'll see. All the bodies are gone, so they should be popping back up in just a minute. I will say I have seen Pathrunner, the rare Talbuk that you can get the mount to drop off of, spawn back in this area. I've only seen him spawn back here once. And I think he was neutral. So I was able to avoid him because, you know, he would flatten me. But by the time I came back around again, he was gone, so somebody must have killed him. Yeah, you know, the NPC like runs up and just smacks at one and it falls over. It's like, that wasn't very nice. I've actually gotten to battles with him before where he's charging towards the thing that I'm trying to pull and I'm like, don't you dare! Like, how dare you? I was going to kill that. So there's that other hunter that's been hanging around. Not sure if they're waiting for one of these Talbuks for their quest to pop up. Okay. Oh, okay, so we got a doe. Alright. So, hi. Do your thing. So, Thwack has a shield around it, and that's the thing that can spell lock you for a second. But, it does give you some warning that it's gonna happen. It's not a stun. It will just lock whatever spell you're in the middle of. Like, it's, I guess it's a brief stun. But you can still hit her. So that does not look like it's interruptible, because it's got the shield around it. I mean, you can try, but I don't think it's gonna let you. It's never been that big of a problem for me. I've always been able to kill them fine. I mean, the paladin killed them, and they were melee. They were ret. I probably had less trouble on the paladin than I did on the casters, to be perfectly honest. So that might just be more of a caster issue where you're in the middle of casting something and thwack goes off and then you've locked that spell school for a second. But, yeah, I don't think that one's gonna be interruptible. Alright, can we get the charger to come back so that we can double check on the rearing charge? Rearing charge, I'm trying to think if that was interruptible. Rearing charge might have been. Because I think I vaguely remember stopping rearing charge a couple of times. But my ability to do something to it, however I managed to interrupt it, was on a little bit of a cooldown. So if it kept doing it, I wasn't able to do it like repeatedly one after another because of the cooldown on the ability. I'm trying to remember what character it was that was able to stop the charge. That might have been the paladin. I might have just been hammering, stun hammering it. But we should be having... Okay, so there's a charger. Yeah, so if there's a shield around an ability on a mob, then that usually means it's non-interruptible. Okay, so... Oh, he does thwack too. That's interesting. I didn't realize he did thwack too. So yeah, so I would test these guys if you have a scout then, or if you have a scout warrior or something, or maybe a non-challenger warrior if you have one, just to see what the abilities are going to do against it. I mean, this one doesn't have a way to interrupt anything, so... Okay, so from here, see this tree and this rock, see how there's like a little path into here? This way? You're basically looping back into Arbor Glen is how you're doing it. So, this guy, you've got a cluster over here to the far left, so be very careful there. You don't want to go that way. So, this one. That one. That one. And then you've got that one there. So, I mean, I don't know how close you want to pull these guys on your warrior or what order you want to do them in. That's up to you. And then you've got this guy here. And then you're back at the top of Arbor Glen, where all the neutral Talbucks were that are pretty straightforward, that don't do anything. The young silver pelts don't have any special abilities. They're just fine to kill straight through like normal. And then this is where we started. DK non-challenger. Well, the DK might have an interrupt that you can try to see if that would work, but I don't think it will. I could be wrong, but usually 9 times out of 10, that shield around the ability meant that you couldn't interrupt it. And then here we are back where we started. And usually I'll kill these guys. I'll start at the top and work my way down. Like if it's at an off time of day and it's not that busy out here and it doesn't seem like a bunch of people are grabbing these for the stable quest, I might, you know, kill a few extra of these a little bit. I mean, if you just want to stay here and kill these and just, you know, wait out the timer on them, that's fine too. The timer's not that terribly long, but these guys don't drop any loot, so do be aware of that. Oh, you're welcome. Like I said, it was going to be easier to show you than to try to explain it with screenshots and typing it out. But, yeah, that was just the path that I've worked on, because I tried looking back near, near the dungeon on the back side of the zone, and it was just cluster mob after cluster mob, because I had actually, let me see, I had been back here near the temple, because I was like, oh, look at all this open ground, but it was it looked good at first, but it was very deceiving because you have like wolf packs patrolling in certain areas, and you've got these guys, right? So I was like, oh, well, these guys are pretty harmless, right? Because I mean, you've only got the one angry one. There's a low flying bird. I was like, I could pick these guys off, you know, I could wait until... You definitely don't want to go into this with a melee, though. I could, like, just pull one off. Where was it? There was a group of them, like, the hostel wasn't in there. Was it a group of, it's a group of something. What the fuck was it? I can't remember now. It was something where I was like, oh, let me pull this. And, like, all of them turned around and were like, oh, no, you didn't. And I was like, oh, no. Because I had a normal paladin that I was actually out here testing with. Here they are. They're over here. So I was like, oh, okay. I'll just, you know, I can pick these guys off one at a time. And all three of them came at me, and I was like, oh, shit. So, yeah. So I was like, well, that's not gonna work. And it was a lot of trial and error with my scout out here trying to pick that specific path. And I know it seems kind of weird, but the path on the other side of Mbari has packs of wolves running every which way, all willy-nilly, all over the place. And I did not feel comfortable because I was like, oh, here's a wolf by itself. Here's a wolf by itself. And I was starting to feel good about my decision. And this was on the scout, mind you. And I was like, okay, this is good. This could work. And I'm coming up to Mbari so I can show you. And it was not good. It was not good. There's some kind of like sea monster in the river here. Don't touch it. I'm trying to find it. Because we did extensive testing on that one. I can't find it right now. Leave the river alone. Trust me. Okay, so there's Mbari, right? So over here in Plains of Serenity, there was like, oh, well, there's a wolf. That's cool. That one's fine. I can avoid that pack there. No problem. Oh, look, here's one by itself. And then all of the sudden, out of nowhere, I was like, I looked up and there was just a herd of wolves just running around. And I was like, what? I was like, why are you running? Where did you even come from? They were just randomly running all over. Yeah, see, there's a pack of 3. So I was like, oh no. Because I was like, oh, well, I can avoid the clusters. No. Because you've got those 1 or 2 packs running around like chickens with their heads cut off. And it's like, oh, no. Not cool. So, yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, those elephants were very deceiving because I was like, oh, these are great. You know, they're neutral. I can just pull them off one by one. And then my scout was deeply surprised and not prepared for the fact that all 3 of them were going to turn around and rip her 5 new orifices. So, yeah, the path I've worked out here has worked for a Ret Pally. I did have a hunter running it, but the hunter met an unfortunate end due to my fault, not the fault of the path I worked out. I took a balanced druid through it, and I took the disc priest through it. So, yeah. Oh, no problem. Anytime. Oh, that's not the inn. Yeah, no worries at all. Alright, so now we're gonna pop over to Soulsnuffer. Gonna change servers here. I've got most of my challengers on one server. I've got a couple on the server I just left, but most of them are over here. Alright, so we're 116, you guys. Your path you should, or... Yeah, like, it's got options on it where, you know, if you don't feel like pulling the ranged one, you can skip it, and, but I think you've got enough room that you can kind of work with. So hopefully that can at least... Hopefully you can at least run your scout through it first, just to make sure there's no surprises for you. That way you can see it in first-person view on your character in-game and get a feel for how it's gonna go. And go from there. So hopefully that'll be of some help. But yeah, when Zaya was asking me, you know, where to go, and I'm like, well, Shadow Moon Valley, but I'm like it's a little specific on where I go. So I was like, yeah. I was like, is this person in Discord? Because he didn't tell me who it was for at first. And they're like, no. And I was like, crap. I was like, well, maybe they could email me and then I can, you know, email them screenshots at the very least, or I could hop on my stream and show them specifically what I do. And then I said, who's it for? And he goes, Pav. I'm like, oh, I know Pav. I was like Pav and I have chatted before. Like, we can get something worked out. And like I said, tomorrow night, I will try my hardest to remember to move this over to my YouTube channel. And once it gets moved over to there, I'll send you the URL in case you need to look it back up to see the way to go. So you don't forget. It's just, for Twitch affiliate, it has to be exclusively on Twitch for 24 hours, that's all, before I can move it over there. So I can move it over tomorrow night. Oh, it's okay. It's not a problem. I've been hiding for the past couple of days in Discord. I've been there, but I just haven't been visible. I was not feeling well for a couple of days. I've been having some migraine issues. So I've been there, I just haven't been visible that much. And I've been on a really weird sleep schedule lately, so a couple of days I was like going to bed at like 4 in the afternoon and I was getting up at 1 a.m. So my schedule's been a little bizarre lately. But no, I'm around. I mean, you can always message me or poke me on Discord, or you can poke one of the guys in the guild and they can snag me. I do have a character in that guild, it's just I'm never on them. I don't like to play on a high pop server, and whenever I look at Wormrest Accord, it always says the server's full. And I'm like, okay. I was like, I'll just go back to my server. But I do have one over there if you need some more questions answered and don't want to get in Discord, one of the guys can grab me and I can pop over if need be. Because I was gonna pop into the guild chat over there and I'm like, well, I don't know how well this path is gonna be explained with no visual, so it's like this might need visual on it to really know what the heck I'm talking about. So this is the only blood that we're leveling on stream right now. All of the other bloodthirsties, I still have them. I still have a whole bunch. I have not given up my goal to eventually get one of each class to max as a bloodthirsty. They are still there. However, the clock was ticking on Shadowlands. And I knew some of them just would not get through BFA before Shadowlands comes. It's just the way it is, the way I level. And so I decided to take my highest ones that I had that had the best shot of getting to max. You're gonna go ahead and work on 88 to 89. Okay, no problem. Good luck on your bloodthirsty. And I'll be cheering you on. Safe travels, sir. And yeah, if you have any more questions, just, you know, give me a shout or poke Zaya or Fair or whatever, Stir. They can get a hold of me. So, yeah, so I'm still trying to get all of them up there. I've gotten the Demon Hunter, the Paladin, the Warlock, and hopefully we'll have a Priest up there soon, but, you know, with Shadowlands coming, I decided we were going to focus on the ones that were the highest, that had a chance of getting there before Shadowlands came in. And this is the last one that was in range to do it quickly. So here we are on Soulsnuffer. We're currently 116. We are heading to 117. Hopefully we can get to 117 here unscathed. We have about 6 bars to go. And that's what we're shooting for. So since this is the only one we're working on stream tonight, that's why I left her with 6 bars left. Normally, when I'm trying to get through several of them on stream, I will leave them like 1-2 bars to go so we can maximize the time. But since she's our current project for Bloodthirsty, this is what we're doing for the next little bit here. And you know, we'll do what we can here. And Path, if you make it to 98 and head into Legion, if you're still here, my path is much simpler. Oh goodness. But yeah, so we're getting there. We're getting there. So I'm thinking the last week of July, as long as nothing goes wrong, we should hit 120 on this character. Nothing is a done deal with a Bloodthirsty character. Nothing's a done deal ever with a challenger until you reach the end. Until you reach max level. Anything can happen. As many of us have experienced at many different times. You know, it's just the way it goes. There's always a bunch of variables that can come into play. Some are our own foobars. Some are out of our control, like DCs or lag that happen suddenly. So we're just gonna hope for the best and hope we can get through these next few levels in good order without too many issues. And this one's been around for a good amount of time. She's sat for a little bit of time in between BFA coming in, and then when World Scaling came in, she sat again for a little bit. But so this is gonna be like maybe an early Legion made character, maybe a couple months into Legion's arrival. So she's been around for a little bit. My oldest challenger is the Paladin that was created during Warlords, and I kind of got focused on Priest for a while, and they just kind of sat there at like level 10 or 15 for like ever and a day, and then I was like, oh, you know, I should probably level this. And that one made it, surprisingly enough. But now we are back at it with priesting again. And we'll see what we can make happen here. Do. Okay. But so far, so far it's been an interesting trip. I don't really think I've had too many close calls with this one. Nothing that's really stands out except for the one DC I had. But I wasn't fighting anything, but it still scared me really bad because I had no idea what had happened. I thought I did something before I realized what had actually taken place. It was a very bizarre moment. But, you know, we're just kind of chipping away here and working on getting to where we need to go. And so far this level, the drops haven't been all that exciting. Haven't been that plentiful either, I will say. Greens have been pretty light this level. We've gotten 2. We've gotten 2 green drops this level. Little disappointing compared to some levels where we've gotten quite a good number. So that was a little surprising. Vendor trash hasn't even been that good either. We've gotten 3 bushy tails off of the foxes so far. So that's about 42 gold, and then we've gotten 2 trophy antlers. We haven't gotten 3 charnel ash though, so that's interesting. But yeah, just drops have been kind of meh, kind of lackluster this level so far. I mean, we'll see what shakes out here in these last few bits of the level. But, you know, we certainly aren't making the money off the vendor trash that we were on the Paladin. Paladin, I was making almost 1,000 gold a level on vendor trash, but that was without the Winds of Wisdom buff. That was long before Winds of Wisdom came in. So, of course, you know, the vendor trash is going to be the vendor trash is going to accumulate higher because we weren't leveling as fast. So we were killing twice the mobs that we are now. So that's understandable. And makes sense. And I'm still averaging about 3 levels an hour. Roughly 3 levels. Oh my god, there I go again. 3 bars an hour. 3 bars. Holy crap. Talk about misspeaking. 3 levels. Yeah, 3 levels an hour is like incredible. No. No, 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 no. No, brain. No. Say the right words. 3 bars an hour. 3 bars an hour. 3 levels an hour. Oh my god, I would be crying. I'd be like, oh my god, this is awesome. 3 levels an hour. Maybe from like level 1 to 10. Not now. No, no, no. At least I caught that misspeaking. I keep doing that a lot. My brain keeps saying level instead of bar. It's really vexing me. It's kind of like my brain block against leopard and snow cheetah that we talked about a while ago. I still keep trying to call it a snow cheetah, and I'm like, what? Like, that's not a thing. That has never been a thing. Ever. You can't just go around inventing new animals. My goodness, brain. Pay attention. Why does it say welcome to the chat room? What happened? Did chat disconnect for a second? I think Twitch is being weird. I think Twitch is being weird. Or maybe Moobot was being weird. I don't know. One of them is being strange. Let me see. Maybe chat's being weird. See, the last one it played was... Oh no, there's that one. Okay, I don't know. It's... Twitch is being a little strange today. Just a wee bit strange. Okay. Sorry, I was just checking on something real quick. I was like, well, maybe if I advance pretzel, it'll pop into the chat. Or it won't pop into the chat. Excuse me. I've been up since 4:30 this morning. Well, it was the second time I woke up. I first woke up at almost 3. And then I panicked and woke up at 4:30 because I thought someone was in the room. Like, I legit thought Russell had gotten up because he's been sleeping in his mom's room to keep the cat that we have in her room company while his mom's out of state, so she's not lonely. And I thought he got up and came in for something, and I woke up and I'm looking around because I thought I heard movement, and I'm like, what? Like, what's happening? What's going on? And I'm looking around the room and nothing looked disturbed, but I could have swore I heard someone walk out of the room, and I was like, what is going on? It might have just been the cats being stupid, but I was legit weirded out, and I was like, okay. The dogs were in bed with me, and they didn't flinch, so I'm like, alright. It could have been Potato running around in circles in her cage. She seems to do that at certain times of the night, where she just starts running laps like a little speed racing car. But it was very odd. And really creeped me out. And then I was like, well, I'm up now. And so, yeah, I got up around 4:30-ish. Maybe closer to 5 by the time I drug myself out of bed. And then I had to go and wake up a bit. And then I had a mountain of dishes to deal with. I still have a mountain of dishes to deal with. Why is... I think we're having some server side lag, because this is being weird now. Spells seemed a little sluggish there for a moment. Yeah, Penance doesn't usually have... or, Bubble doesn't usually have that much of a delay. So that's a little odd. But I don't believe I'm dropping any frames. I will check in just a second. No. No frame droppage. Very interesting. Okay. Anywho. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars to go. So yeah, I part of me would love to have a dishwasher, but there's no way we can really have one here. And it really isn't that big of a deal when it's just me and Russell. But with so many people in the house now, I'm like, oh my god, I like never leave the kitchen. It's either let the dishes pile up for a while, or I will literally be there for 3 hours washing dishes. I actually had one side of the sink cleared out this morning, and I was just like, oh god, I can't do any more right now. And at one point I went to go to the bathroom and my mom was in the kitchen making something, and I'm like, what? And then when I went to go get something for lunch, I looked into the sink and the whole one side that I had clear was full again. And I was like, damn it. I was like, why? Why dishes? Why? Dishes and laundry, man. They're the two things that never cut you a break. Ever. They are two absolute constants. I mean, I guess unless you eat out constantly, but that's not really feasible for long term. But I'd cooked a turkey breast yesterday, so that created a bunch of dishes. No, wait, not yesterday. Monday. Made it on Monday. I've lost a day somewhere. But that's okay. It happens. I did get some painting done this morning. I got 2 birdhouses painted for the backyard. Finally got off my butt and got some work done on those. The one is sealed and hanging up already. The other one I'm still in the process of sealing. I think I have to spray the bottom still. And then I can get that one hung up. And then I've got a couple more still to paint. Hey, Lita. How's your knee? Is it still being shitty? I feel like the server's being laggy. That sucks. It's not fun when one of your limbs that you need to be so dependent on to get around is not cooperating. Definitely not fun. So we just finished up our walkthrough of my Warlord's grinding loop for Path. So we're just kind of getting started on this this run of actually working on Soulsnuffer. Because it was just easier to explain it to Path to show him it than to try to explain it in writing. Because it had a few turns and it was kind of hard to show on the map because I was just going to trace out a line on a shot of the zone, and then I was like, oh, well, there's some cluster mobs here that you need to watch out for, and then this there, and it was just easier to show him. Oh, let's get out of the tree. Yeah, so I was happy we got 2 of the birdhouses painted. I have no idea what mount that was that just went flying through the screen, unless that was something that was... Maybe that was flying in from Mechagon. That was weird. It was like an old warplane. There's another one. What the hell? What is that? Is that a flight path mount? That's gotta be from flying from Mechagon. I've never seen that before. 'Cause I'm pretty sure that we're seeing a flight path back in here. That was weird. But, it's been a interesting week so far. I got a message on Monday while I was in the middle of cooking an elaborate lunch from Zorts, and he's like, hey, my internet's been weird. I'm gonna have to cancel Teams today. And I'm sitting there really confused, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, did we discuss playing Teams today? Because I know I wasn't feeling well all weekend. What with the cat thing happening late the end of the week, and then I had a migraine and messed up my back a little bit, and I was like, what? I was very confused, had no idea what the hell he was talking about, and I'm like, come again, sir? I was like, we were supposed to do Teams, question mark? And then he finally messaged me back like 6-7 hours later. He goes, oh, I thought we had discussed doing it, but I couldn't remember. I'm like, no, we didn't. But that's okay. So, no Teams this week, but, or at least not so far this week. I don't know if we're doing a double header stream on Friday where we're doing Teams and art. I don't know. I don't think so. I haven't heard from Zort since that message, so probably no Teams this week. But I was very confused because I had lost a day somewhere. My sleep schedule was really bizarre because I was upset over the cat and not feeling well, and I tweaked my back and I'm having like a weird muscle spasm, pinchy, numb spot going on near where my scoliosis starts to make my spine curve, and I'm like, yeah, well, I know what that is. I know what it is for what it is. I've dealt with that before. That's just something I just have to deal with until it decides to fix itself again. But it makes it kind of weird to deal with at times. And then the weird sleeping that we've been doing lately, we've been like going to bed at odd hours. We've been trying to resituate ourselves to being awake during the day. And we slowly had to keep like staying up a little bit later each day to finally come back around to being awake during the right times. I think we're about as good as it's gonna get right now. And that's mainly because Russell has a D&D game now on Tuesdays that's gonna be starting up at like 6 in the evening. So we kind of needed to be awake at that time, but at one point we were, he was like just going to bed at that point, and I'm like, ooh, that's a problem. So somehow I managed to stay up till like 8:30 last night, 9 o'clock. I was very proud of myself. I was tired as shit, but I was proud of myself. Because I was so not in a good way on Monday that Sunday I was just bad on Sunday. Everything was bad. I felt sick. Actually, Saturday night, I had a terrible migraine. All day Saturday. I had woke up with a headache, was trying to push through. I was trying to work on my contest character. And I was like, oh, well, just a little bit further, you know, and I can stay in the top 10. Like, I didn't think I was going to get in the top 10. And then I did, because carnage had happened in front of me. And I was like, oh, hey, if I do X, Y, and Z, I'm going to be in the top 10. And then suddenly I was in 10th, and I'm like, oh, wow. And then I realized that I was battling somebody else. And we kept bumping each other in and out of the top 10. I think it was Rusty in Discord. And we both were like duking it out all afternoon, and I was just sitting there feeling so terrible. And I'm like, I want to go to bed, but then I was like, but I still need to do some other things. I gotta at least stay up until the show starts, because I've got some things I need to do for the show. And I was hanging in there, and we both managed to finish in the top 10, so I was like, okay, good enough. And as soon as the winners were announced for the contest, I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I have to go to bed. I feel terrible. It was a bad migraine. I have not had a migraine where I've been sick in a long time, and this was one of them. Where I was like sick to my stomach. That was a bad one. And so yeah, then I spent the rest of the night sick and in bed, and I think I was probably asleep before the show was over. To be perfectly honest, I was pretty bad. I was like, no, I give up. I can't fight any longer. I'm done. I'm done. I'm throwing in the towel. And however, passing out by 7:30-ish my time, I think, I was awake at 1 in the morning. And I was awake. I still didn't feel great, but I was awake, and I was like, oh, okay. It was either 1 or 2 in the morning, I can't remember which. I want to say it was 1. And Sunday I didn't have anything going on, so I was like, okay, well, I'll just, you know, exist for a while after I get some stuff done for the show posts. And, took care of show posts, and then was realizing, oh, I have a 120 write-up to do. So was like, right. I think I had to contact, I think it was Azzy. So I made contact with him, and a little bit later he had sent me stuff. I was like, alright, well, I'll work on that at some point here. And I don't think I actually worked on it until the next day, maybe. Or I might have my days confused. I don't remember. The weekend kind of blurred together on me because I felt so terrible. And I had taken a turkey breast out of the freezer to cook on Monday, and I still wasn't feeling that great. And I'm like, oh shit. So I had to cook it anyway. So yeah, then when he messaged me in the middle of cooking, I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I actually made the turkey breast for lunch because I had been up at like 2 in the morning and could not go back to sleep. And I was like, right, I am not going to be awake much longer, so we are having it for lunch. I think I was in bed by like 4 in the afternoon Monday. I was like, nope, I'm done. I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I need to sleep. It's been an odd couple of days. I feel like I've lost 2 days somewhere, and I'm not exactly sure where. We're still adjusting to not having the cat anymore, to not having Zoe any longer. She became quite a fixture in our lives with her quirkiness. And like every day we're realizing something different that's not going to be happening any longer. But, I don't know, I think it just kind of numbed us more than anything. Because it was very unexpected. It was very sudden. It wasn't like Russell's, older cat that we think might have been like 18 or something, so we were a little more prepared for his passing, because he had been in kind of rough shape, slowly gearing up to that point. But this was just very, within like a week we noticed things going on, and then they kind of became in our face of, oh, there's a problem here. But yeah, it was very strange. But we're gonna honor Zoe Cat on the channel. I realized I have badge slots open, and I'm very bad about updating things on my own channel. So we're gonna be trying to do a Zoe Cat badge where she has a sock hanging out of her mouth, because that was one of her favorite things to do, was to walk around the house. Yeah, it certainly has been an odd year, that's for sure. But one of Zoe's favorite pastimes was walking around the house aimlessly at odd hours of the day, with a sock hanging out of her mouth, screeching as loud as she could, so the whole house could hear and come find her. And I don't know if she thought she killed the sock and was giving us an offering and was telling us to eat, or if she thought the sock was her child. I don't know. It was very odd. We never quite figured it out. She would drop them in the water dish for the communal cats, the communal cat water dish. She would drop the socks, my socks, no less, into the dog's water bowl constantly. I would wake up in the morning and be fishing socks out of the water bowl, and there'd be no water left in the dog bowl. I'm like, thanks, kitten. That was helpful. Now the doggies don't have any water. But, yeah, we're gonna see about getting a little badge done for the channel. If we can make it look right. Hopefully we can. It has been quite an odd year. I'm kind of numb about the whole year, because I'm like, it's July. Like, wasn't it just January? Like, I don't know. Oh, this server side lag is getting shitty. It's not me. It's the server. I am in normal latency ranges. And I'm not dropping frames, so it's definitely WoW side. It does this periodically out here. I've gone through this with the Warlock as well. We've got 4 bars left to go. And Stir and Azzy were doing their whole trading off of losing characters again. And then they were starting to look to me, and I'm like, oh no you don't. I was like, don't you dare. Don't you dare. I actually lost a character during the pacifist contest. I lost my first character for that. I lost the warrior just a wee bit before making Down in Front. And actually, I had only made Down in Front late Thursday. Was it late Thursday or Wednesday of last week? So she actually did not have that much playtime on, or he didn't have that much playtime on him. So I was really surprised I was able to get back into the top 10 with only like three days of playing on him. Maybe 2, because I really hadn't done that much in the way of cooking dailies. They can just keep their little death right. Yes, exactly, Lita. They were like, oh, so you know what that means? I'm like, no. I said, don't you dare. Don't you dare jinx my bloodthirsty. Because heads will roll. It's like, don't you dare. It's like, you keep that between you two. I don't want any parts of it. None whatsoever. That sewer beast, like, loves you guys. I never see him. I don't know if it's one of the perks of being on a normal server that he's like never up. I don't know. It's very rare that I come across him in Stormwind. Extremely rare. But then again, I don't really hang out in Stormwind all that much. The Horde tends to attack the Stormwind on my server a lot. So I don't tend to just, be there. I am there for a mission, and I'm getting the heck out. I don't linger in Stormwind because I'm afraid of things going wrong with the Horde attacking at times. But it's like, no parts of this. I didn't sign up for this. I don't want this. And besides, I already sacrificed a character during the contest, so no. No thank you. Granted, it died to my own stupid mistake. I'm really mad that it died to that stupid mistake, but oh well. That's what I get for thinking I could get that node and being 62 in Sholazar Basin. I kept forgetting I was quite so low level. I went there a little early because of the contest, and forgot that the lower you are, the bigger the aggro radius is, and yeah. Yeah. I watched that mob too, and it stopped far enough away where I was like, I'm good. And then all of a sudden I'm like trying to pick the herb and it's like interrupted and I'm like, what? I'm like, why am I? And then I started flashing and I was like, oh god, what is happening? And yeah, I just couldn't get away fast enough. It's like, well, there goes that one. But I'll say Hunter's been fine. I was actually surprised there was no other Hunters on as a pacifist in the contest. I'm like, wow. Really, everybody went like Horde Druid or Rogue Druid. And I'm like, nobody wants to be different? Like, Periton went different with the Monk. And Pixie went Priest. And I was going to go Priest, but I already have a high level pacifist Priest. So I kind of didn't feel the need to go Priest again, because I still have one alive. And I was like, oh, I always go Priest though. And then you know, I accidentally made the first one a warrior. They were gonna be a mage, and then I realized, oh, I'm a warrior, and then I just didn't feel like logging back out and fixing it. I was like, screw it, we'll just be a warrior then. And but I wasn't going to reroll for the contest, and then I was like, I don't really have anything else going on. I could. So I did. And then when I was sitting there looking at the list, and I'm like, it hit me that there was no Hunters, and I'm like, really? Nobody went Hunter? And I didn't even see any active Hunters on the pacifist list at all, the main one, and I was like, huh. So I was like, well, what do I have to lose, really? And so I rolled Hunter, and I was like, well, you know, Feign Death would be very handy. And there's the slow trap that you can use. I won't use freezing trap because I'm afraid to. I'm kind of weird, like I'm on a class that gives you CC, but I'm afraid to use it because I always, even like with the rogues, right? I have it in the back of my mind because I've done this where I've come up into an area and I've seen a mob sapped, and in my brain I'm thinking, oh, the rogue just sapped it so they could pickpocket it, so I kill it. And then it kind of dawned on me when I was thinking about it for the contest, and I'm like, well, wait, if you're a rogue and you sap something and someone comes up and kills it while it's in sap, do you get credit for that kill if you're still close enough? And then I got scared and I'm like, that's a really good question. And I was like, you know what? That I don't know if I could sap anything if I went rogue on a pacifist. I would be terrified. So then I was like, oh, you know, we'll go Hunter. And then Fear's like, oh, you get freezing trap. And I was like, yeah, but I won't use it. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, I'm afraid that if I freezing trap something, somebody else is going to come up next to me before I've had the chance to get away and kill it. And I'm afraid I might get credit for the kill if I'm not out of there quick enough. And she's like, oh, I didn't even think about that. And I'm like, yeah. And so, like, I don't know. And I'm scared, so I won't use it. I refuse to. Without some kind of confirmation, and I just haven't had the chance or the will to go test it on my own, so it's definitely something that gives me pause. But I will say the toughest part about leveling a pacifist hunter was level 1 to 10. That was the hardest part. And not for the reasons that you may think. It wasn't for the reasons, the standard pacifist reasons of just trying to get to level 10. It was for hunter reasons trying to get to level 10. Oh, this server lag? World's coming up a little bit now. It'll be weird and then it's fine. It's the fact that you don't have pet control until level 10. So you have to be really careful about how close to a mob you get. Because if you accidentally aggro it, you can't tell your pet no. You can't put your pet in passive. You can't tell the pet to just follow me and get it out of combat. And, just let it take the hit and let the pet die. Your pet's gonna fight till the bitter end, and it's like, oh shit. And, because you can't even dismiss the thing until level 10. So that was the biggest challenge, was watching how close to nodes I was getting, because I was afraid the pet was going to be too close to a mob, even though I wasn't close enough to aggro. I thought the pet, because it was between me and the mob, was going to aggro it, and I was like, oh lord. So I had to be super careful. So 1 to 10 was a little slow, because I had to deal with that. I mean, when you're on the mounts, it's fine because it kind of goes into auto passive, right? But the second you get off the mount, it's like, oh god. So you have to be really careful. But once I got to 10 and I dismissed the pet, it's been fine. I mean, I think I've gotten 1 or 2 levels on that hunter since the contest finished. And I've almost dinged on the big passy. I've almost hit 102. I need to do today's fishing and cooking stuff. I need to go finish doing some stuff in Fallout, because I was in the middle of working on my dailies in Fallout, actually, when Zaya said that somebody had a question about Bloodthirsty for 90, and then I found out it was Path that had the question. So we went on air a little bit early today so I could physically show him that path. Yeah, and see, and now it's fine, so it's definitely server side. It'll be weird for a minute, and then it's fine. And then it's weird for a minute, and then it's fine. It's so bizarre. And then there's other times where I can go hours out here and not be affected at all. But it's not just me, because I've mentioned it at times, and other people will pipe up immediately. They're like, oh my god, yes, the lag. They're like, it's only here, it's not on this server. Or it's not in this zone. Or it's not in that zone. And I was actually tempted to go take a scout over and try to find another area to level in one of the other zones, but I'm like, no, don't do it. Not at this stage of the game. We can tough it out. We're okay. We know this demon. We know this evil. We don't know what evil could potentially await us in the other zones, and honestly, I think it's just random. Because I've had lag in the other zones too at times. But then there's times when I'm out here and I'm fine. So I think it's just, luck of the draw, really. Alright, we're coming up on 3 bars to go. So we're getting there. We just redid our buff a few minutes early. We can use Fortitude because it's part of our spellbook. So that's helpful. It gives us a little extra in the health point department to work with. Tell you, I don't know what happened, but I ended up taking 2.5 walks yesterday. We walked down to the hardware store early yesterday morning because we had to replace our smoke detector. We were gonna do it on Saturday and then realized, oh, it's 4th of July. We walked down there and they were in fact closed, so we weren't sure if they were gonna be open or not. But they were closed, so we're like, okay. So we got that dealt with Tuesday? Monday, Tuesday. We did it Tuesday. Tuesday? Yes, Tuesday. Sorry, I'm trying to think of what we did this week. No, because Russell took my mom to the store on Monday. And yeah, so we did it on Tuesday. This week has just been a blur so far. So we got the new smoke detector. And we came back and we were sitting here and I had Russell put it up while I took the dogs outside because I didn't want to be in the house while he was testing it because my ears were starting to feel better from when it went off the other night unexpectedly. My ears were killing me for days after that. So I was like, well, let me take the dogs outside because they didn't like the noise either and I don't want to flare my ears back up after they're finally starting to calm down. So I was out back with them on the leash and then they kind of were being good, so I was like, well, okay. We kind of went for an impromptu walk and they did not want to come home and it was a bit of a struggle because I was on my own and they were being kind of pulley. But you know, I can't blame them. They're puppers and they're excited and they want to smell everything and pee on everything even though there's nothing left in the tank. So I finally managed to get them to turn around after some re-maneuvering and came back with them. It was getting really hot out. Welcome to summer in Arkansas. And so I came back in. I was just kind of resting for a little bit after that adventure because it was a little bit hotter out than I was expecting it to be. I was trying to cool off. And a little bit later, Russell's like, oh, I'm going to walk down to this store to see... Oh, we thought we were out of bagels and we were going to go down and grab another sleeve so that we could make sandwiches for dinner and just have it on the bagel. And so I was like, oh, well, I want to go. So I walked down with him. And as we were leaving the house, Russell's like, it's getting kind of cloudy. Or no, it was hot. And I said, do you want me to go back and get the umbrella for shade? And he's like, no. And then we were like almost to the... No, did it start on the way there or on the way home? We were fine on the way there, and we were kind of looking at the sky, and we were like, huh, like, I wonder if it's gonna rain. I said, well, there wasn't anything over us, but maybe later today. We came out of the store bagel-less because they didn't have any, so it was a wasted trip down. And about halfway across the parking lot, no, we were out of the parking lot, I'm sorry. We were going the back way home, and we stopped in the little park. We were going to check out the fountain, and I was trying to get these little burrs off my pants that had attached themselves to me, and I saw some water dots on the ground, and I'm like, oh, that's weird. And then Russell's like, oh, time to go, and I was like, what? And I looked up, and it was raining. I was like, oh, okay. We just kind of walked slowly back home because we're like, it's fine. It's hot enough. It's not lightning. It's just a rain shower. And we both had hats on anyhow, so we're like, whatever. And so yeah, I had like 3 walks yesterday. So my ass was exhausted. I had actually wanted to go to bed at like 6 last night, but Russell's D&D thing was just starting, and I'm like, well, let me see how late I can stay up. And then I was just kind of staring at stuff on YouTube for a while, and trying to help Elminia with a issue with a player that I'm still not sure if that's been resolved yet. I haven't heard back from Elminia. And might have to poke him tonight about that. And then I just kind of, fell down a rabbit hole of stuff on YouTube and realized Russell was wrapping up, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed now because I saw the time, and I'm like, yeah, let's go to bed. But yeah, I got 2 of the birdhouses painted. I got the watermelon shaped birdhouse painted today. That's sealed and hanging up outside. Oh my god, birds. And I painted the watering can shaped birdhouse. I still have to seal the bottom of it before we can hang it up. I had sealed the sides. I think the back is gonna dry a little funny with the way the sealer went on. I think it was a little close and it kind of layered up and it dripped funny. So I think the drip is gonna be there unless I sand it off and fix it. But it's gonna be outside, so I'm not sure how much I care. It's gonna be out in the weather, so it's like, it's on the back side of it anyway. I think I'm not gonna sweat that. It's not like it's for sale. It's for my own amusement, so I'm just gonna let that go and not stress that issue. I do have to seal the bottom of it. Yeah, so at least I got 2 of those done. Got off my ass and got that. And here we are. I still have a few more birdhouses to paint. I need to gesso the remaining ones. I don't have any of the other ones gessoed yet. Oh, and I also prepped our wood slice for the art stream on Friday night. Might be Friday afternoon though. Yeah, Bob's doing a black canvas for the next episode, so I did have to slap on some black acrylic paint on there, which I did. And I did manage to get a couple easels painted black to go with a couple of the little minis that are going to be going up on the shop soon. Once the easels are finished. So, it's been a slightly productive morning, I guess. Kind of. Maybe. Oh, hey. We got a green. How did that happen? Well, I was running my mouth because I don't see it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Alright. Well, it's a wand. I'm not going to be using it. But we can vendor it. So we should get some coin from that. So that should be fun. And, yeah, so it's just an lovely day. Excuse me. Like I said, I've been up since 4:30. Well, officially up since 4:30, I'll put it that way. And then when I get done here, I have to go do some things and stuff for Facebook and Twitter. And is Lita, you still here? I'm not sure if you're still here. Did Cell have a Twitter? I know he's in Discord, but I didn't know if he had a Twitter. Because I know not everybody does. Okay, that's fine. I just didn't want to not tag someone if they had one to tag. Because I was uninformed. I'll just have to tag him in the Discord post, that's all. That's fine. It's so hard to keep track of everybody's contact stuff. Can't keep track of my own shit. And oh my god, yeah, like the beginning of the week was so dumb because I've been having an issue with Amazon since like the week before, where somebody somehow got into my Amazon account and tried to buy something, but Amazon believed it was suspicious activity, so they canceled the order supposedly and refunded me the charge, because I haven't bought anything on my Amazon account in forever. I usually browse on my Amazon account, tell Russell, and then he puts it on the account that has Prime on it, which is under his mom's name, so we get the lesser shipping. And they had tried to buy a $20 gift card for Xbox, and I had an expired credit card on there or debit card as payment, and I'm like, well, yeah, they're gonna get real far with that, aren't they? And apparently I had a gift card still attached to my Amazon account that had $2 left on it. So they tried to buy a $20 gift card for Xbox with the $2 remaining on my gift card. And I'm like, okay. It's like, so whoever you are, how you paying that remaining $18 there, buddy? And so it was very odd. And I gotten an email about it, and they're like, oh, you need to go in and change your password and stuff. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I went in and did that. Changed it to something completely not in use anywhere else. Made it a little bit of a pain in the ass to type in. And I'm like, okay, fine. 2 days later, I'm checking that email, because I don't always check that email every day. And I've got another notice from Amazon talking about suspicious activity on my account. I'm like, what the F? What the F are you talking about? And this time it was for a PlayStation gift card for $20. And I'm like, what? And then it showed a deduction of $2 off of the gift card again. And I'm like, what the actual fuck? I was so mad. And I was like, really? I just changed this password, and there's all kinds of funny stuff in it. Like, what? I was so mad. Went in, reset the password like they told me to. They sent me a code. I had to type that in. Reset it. Good. Okay. Now they wanted me to log in with the new password. Awesome. Not a big deal. Go to log in with the new password I had just reset, and they're telling me they blocked my account. And I'm like, what? I was like, what the F do you mean you just locked my account? I just jumped through 5 hoops for you correctly, and now you've locked my account? So then that devolved into, like, they're like, you have to contact customer service. And I was like, what? Russell's like, just call them. I said, you don't understand. Their call center isn't open because of COVID. I've been seeing all kinds of posts on Facebook from people trying to get a hold of Amazon customer service, and they can't because the call center isn't open. And they're having to rely through message tag through Facebook or something. And I'm like, oh my effing word. And I was having a meltdown. I was like, you've got to be effing kidding me. He found a way to get a hold of somebody through text chat to try to get some help. One lady was helping us. No, I think it was a guy that was helping us. And he's like, okay, your account should be unlocked. And sign in with the last password change that you did, and you should be fine now. And we're like, you're sure? And they're like, yeah, it should be fine now. Just use the last password you signed in with that you changed it to. And I'll send you an email showing what I did or stating what I did for your account. And we're like, okay. He's like, give it 10 minutes. Like, okay. 35 minutes goes by because I got involved in something. Came back to log in to the Amazon account with the new password that I had changed it to when they decided to lock it. The second I hit enter, your account's been locked. You need to contact us. And I was livid. I was like, what? I was like, we just friggin' unlocked this after 20 minutes on text chat with someone. I was pissed. And I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. And Russell's like, well, fuck it, just leave it locked then. And I'm like, yeah, but if I do any mTurk stuff, I can't get into my mTurk account. And so now we were both kind of pissed. So he got back on text chat, got a hold of another person. They started to help us. And then for some reason, they needed to call us to get some kind of verification or something, verbally. Or they asked for our phone number, we gave it to them. They called, we answered, and the connection was fuzzy and broken. We got disconnected, and then that person canceled the text chat or something. And we're like, what? They closed out the text chat that we were in the middle of once they got us on the phone, and then the phone call disconnected. We're like, third person we get on text chat. This is like turning into an 1.5-hour ordeal at this point. We got somebody whose name I'm sorry we can't pronounce, and they started helping us. They got us on the phone. The phone disconnected. Russell's like, oh my god. He's like, are you effing kidding me? And he was about to throw the phone across the room. About 5 minutes later, the person's back on the text chat. They're like, the call disconnected. I'm going to try something else. So they called us, and she's like, I'm going to try to transfer you directly to what the hell was it? Was it account change department or something? And somehow, miraculously, the call didn't disconnect. And Russell's like, oh my god, whatever they did, he's like, the call wasn't fuzzy anymore. And he could clearly hear the recordings in the background talking and stuff. And we're like, okay, progress. So they put us in touch to a different department. And this person was asking us all kinds of specific questions about the account and what forms of payment did I have stored on the account. And fortunately, I had seen when I was in there on one of the password changes to see what payment I had in there, because I was trying to figure out what they had tried to pay with this gift card or this Xbox and PlayStation gift card with. I was trying to see what they used to try to pay, what they tried to screw me over on. And I'm like, well, I have an expired credit card or debit card on here. It was a Visa something. And then I saw that I had 2 bank accounts listed for payment. And I was sitting there looking at the bank accounts. I'm like, why the bank accounts? I'm like, oh, right, mTurk. And I had seen that they had both said Arvist. And then the guy's like, well, I need to know, what payments you have listed on here stored. And I'm like, I don't know. And that almost put us dead in the water. And then I was like, well, there was 2 bank accounts, and Russell's like reading off the debit card numbers. I said, no, not the debit card number. I said, it was the checking account number. He goes, why would the checking account number be on Amazon? I said, for mTurk, just humor me and read off the last digits for both bank accounts. And the guy's like, yep, that's them. So he was able to effing fix it. I did have to change my password another time. We put in 2-step authentication to log into my Amazon account, and I think we ended up I removed the bank accounts off of there just to cover our ass, but then I ended up putting my online account debit card in there because there's hardly ever any money in there. There's like maybe $20. It's never a huge amount of money that I use for my Etsy account stuff. And just in case I need something for my Kindle, because I won't be able to get it, like even if it's like $1 purchase if there's nothing there. So, but it's very rare that I ever get anything. But oh my god, it was turning into an 1.5 to 2 hour ordeal to fix it, and it was just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And Russell was like, no, let her log in before you hang up. was like, we need to make sure that this is going to let me in before you hang up the phone. And the guy was like, no, that's fine. He's like, I understand. And we're like, please don't hang up, sir. That has been actually helping us fix this until we make sure that it's actually fixed. And then once I got in there, Russell's like, okay, move. I need to put your two-step authentication in because I have an authentication app on my phone. And I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. It was just a whole effing fiasco. I mean, they did refund the $2 back to my gift card, I guess, but honestly, the $2 I wasn't even worried about at that point. I was like, it's $2, whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna throw a shit fit about $2. I'm more mad about the masks that we bought that we haven't heard anything back from the company. That was another fiasco. Oh my god, we're still in the middle of that one. I had seen a Facebook ad for these cute masks. Face masks. And I wasn't actually planning on getting them, but then Russell's like, oh, I really like this. And I said, oh, are you gonna get one? And he's like, yeah, I think I am. And he found one for me, and like they had filter pockets on them and everything. We're like, oh, these are cool. So, he ordered them. He got an invoice from the company stating our order, and they took our money on June 10th. And they had like a notice about, oh, delayed shipping with everything going on, and we're like, yeah, okay. We're used to the delayed shipping thing with Amazon. We ordered some stuff and it didn't ship for 2 months. That's fine, whatever. But, you know, at least we could log in and see our account and see our order status and stuff. So, you know, whatever. Like a week later, he still hadn't heard anything back about the status of the order. And I said to him, I said, well, can't you log into your account and see it? He goes, they didn't make me create one. I was like, what? He goes, it didn't have me create one. And we're like, okay. And so he tried to contact the company through 3 different contact listings that he managed to dig up. One came back unknown on an email, so it never went through. 2 other formats we used, he never heard back from. Nothing. It's been a wall of silence. And it's July 8th. We have heard nothing. Not your order is back ordered. No estimated shipping date. No, sorry, your order's been delayed till X. No, hey, we just took your money and run. Haha, you're a chump. Nothing. Nothing. It's been an absolute total wall of silence. And we're like, what the fuck? You know? How is this a way to run a business? And he's seen new things showing up on the website. So somebody is working at the company posting new products and shit on the website. So something's weird here. So the fact that we haven't heard anything, Russell went to the bank, or called the bank, and he's like, hey, I ordered something from this company. They took the money. You can clearly see that they took the money out of our account. And we've had no contact with them since, and we have not received our item. He's like, what do I do? He's like, can I get my money back? Can we get some kind of refund? Like, we don't think we're getting our stuff. We think they scammed us. So, I forget what happened. He talked to them. I don't know if we put a claim in. What happened with that? What did you end up doing?
I basically put in a claim through the bank. So now they're gonna try to get a hold of them and go from there.
Okay. So yeah. So it's in the bank's hands now, and because we're like, they're not talking to us. We don't know what's going on. We don't know if our order is still happening. At this point, we would just rather it be canceled and get our money back. But the cancellation policy on the website was going to charge a 20% transaction fee if you tried to cancel your item, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I don't know what's going on. We don't know if we're ever going to see our item. We don't know if the bank's going to have any luck getting a hold of anybody.
At this point, we're probably just going to have to wait for the bank to give us a refund. I don't expect to actually see the item.
Yeah, I don't either. Like,
if anything, I wouldn't be surprised if the
hey,
I wouldn't be surprised if the website goes down in the near future.
Momo. Leave P-Butt be. Momo. Leave it. Stop barking at the cat.
What is your malfunction?
Momo, Peabody's on the other side of the bed messing with them. Because Peabody likes to be a bit of a jerk sometimes. They probably have to potty. They're so excited, they're sliding all over the floor. But yeah, so we're really kind of vexed and pissed off about that, because it was $60, and $60 to us is a lot of money that we had been holding on to for something else. Oh, welcome back. So we're hoping the bank can help us resolve this. We're hoping maybe the bank has a way of getting a hold of these people. Maybe if, you know, the financial institution starts to go after them, maybe they'll be more willing to answer them. But we've sent like 3 different emails to different contacts for this company, and not a single one of them has been responded to. With a, oh yeah, sorry, here's an update on your order. Nothing. Alright. You have a good one. Be careful. Take it easy. Well, they don't really let you take it easy in physical therapy, but hopefully good things happen. So, yeah, hopefully the bank has a better time of trying to get a hold of these people. Because right now it feels like they scammed us out of our cash. I mean, what kind of company is this that doesn't communicate with its customers at all? It's crazy. Like, some kind of status update would be nice, especially when they're contacting you directly and being like, hey, can I get an update on my order? Like, what? And then they're like, oh, 100% satisfaction guaranteed. If you're not happy with your order, contact us and we'll make it right. Or we'll do what we can in our power to make it right. And I'm like, how can they effing contact you when you're not answering anybody? It's ridiculous. Got a bar and a what, quarter to go, roughly? I don't know. It's dumb. So we've just basically kissed that money goodbye. Oh, this server lag. What is happening? Like, I'm a little up, but not by much. Not enough for this kind of lag to be happening. So this is a little concerning. I mean, we've been doing okay so far. I am keeping an eye on those numbers, though, because the fact that the one's a little elevated, just want to make sure it doesn't go any higher than that. I mean, I used to play with my latency in the 90s, so, you know, it sitting at 40 is not a big deal, but I'm just going to make sure it doesn't suddenly spike into triple digits on me out of nowhere. Because triple digits starts to get pretty scary. Hope everyone's been having an okay week so far. In all of this madness. I hope you guys had a good 4th of July, if you celebrate 4th of July, if you're in the US. We kind of slept through 4th of July. Well, I was sick that night, so. Not that we were gonna have plans anyway. Our town canceled their 4th of July fireworks. Because they usually do a big thing down at the town's public pool, and they usually do like free hot dogs and hamburgers, and they'll do movie at the pool before the fireworks thing or during it, and you know, it's just basically solid people everywhere down at the park. But earlier during all of this madness, when it was first starting to take hold, and they were asking, like, they didn't make it mandatory, but you know, it was suggested, you know, if you don't have to be out, stay home, and you know, all the social distancing and stuff. They were like, the city was like, we don't think we can realistically enforce social distancing at the fireworks display, not how we've done it in the past with how the show was set up. And then there was concern over the fact of whether or not they'd actually be able to get the fireworks for the show, because they were made in China, and like all of the factories over there were shut down. Like, nobody was working. Everybody was like locked down, can't leave your house unless you need grocery situation. And then even in some cases, like, they were like only certain people were allowed out to grocery shop. They did things a lot differently over there. So they were concerned they wouldn't even be able to get their hands on the fireworks for the show. So our town had canceled it. A couple other towns in the area had canceled too. Some towns decided to go ahead and have theirs. We'll see what happens in 2 weeks. Because, 2 weeks after Memorial Day, the cases in our state spiked to high heaven, and we were in triple digits, like over 500, 5 something, 7 something, 8 something, 8 something, 7 something. Like, it was ridiculous, and it was like, oh my word. Just in the past, I think yesterday, it started to come down. There was one day where it was like 2 something, the next day was like 5 or 7 again, and then I think yesterday's numbers were 2 something again. So, we'll see what happens in 2 weeks. If the numbers spike ridiculously again in our state because people just couldn't, you know, not listen to what people are telling them to do, and holding these huge parties and stuff. So we'll see what happens if they jump again. I do think it's ridiculous to be planning on having schools open in a month, because school starts down here like the second week of August, and I don't think it's time to yet. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's dangerous. I don't think we're ready, and I don't think the numbers are where they need to be for that to happen safely. And I think it's a really bad idea. I think that they should at least be on remote learning until Christmas, and then reevaluate over Christmas break, and go from there, honestly. But we'll see what happens. all we can do is sit tight and watch what unfolds, really. Alright, we got a bar to go, you guys. 96%. We're approaching level 117. Slowly but surely. So, the WoW Challenges podcast is on Saturday. And Sel's gonna be on this week. I'm gonna be co-hosting with Lita this week. So that should be a fun show. He's gotten a couple max levels in various challenges here in the past few weeks. So that should be all sorts of fun to have him on and see how things are going with him. I know he's got a couple of bloodthirsties he's kind of working on slowly. And he's got at least one working man. He's the one that has the working man named not Nisi. I promise it's not me. I don't have a working man at all right now. So tomorrow afternoon, we'll be working on Iron Man on stream. We'll be picking back up with Grumpy Soul. Unfortunately, I never did get around to working on the other continent because we had to cancel last Thursday's stream. So I missed out on the other continent's bonfires. So dang. But that's okay. We'll probably be starting on Caldanus dailies. And going from there. Probably do some of the Sunwell Isle dailies. If we have time, I'll shoot back over to Borean and do the basket daily, or maybe we'll do the basket daily first and then go out to Sunwell. You know, we'll see. We'll figure it out. So that's going to be for Thursday. Friday we're going to do art. We're going to work on... what are we on? Are we on episode 5 of season 15 for the Joy of Painting? I think it's episode 5. And it's going to be a black canvas, so we're doing ours on a black piece of wood. So we're doing the little minis, the mini paintings, scaled down versions. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. That's for Friday afternoon. Late afternoon, early evening, shall we say. And then Saturday, I know I'll be co-hosting with Lita on the podcast, and we'll have Cell on. And Sunday I'm still leaving open right now for the time being. Don't know if art's gonna move back to Sunday, but for right now we're just gonna leave it on Friday evening for the time being. And might leave Sunday just open for if I feel like doing something. I might, like, impromptu, spur of the moment stuff. Could be Fallout, it could be something else WoW related, you know, just leave it up to that if I feel like doing anything. Could be art, you know, we'll see. We will see. So we got about half a bar left to go. So we're doing okay. We're getting there. Getting there. We don't want to rush it. We definitely don't want to rush it. Because when you rush, then you start making mistakes. Hey, oh wow, we're up to 7 tails. Check that out. 7 tails and 3 antlers. Nice. Picked up a few more of those guys in the last little bit here. Good, good. Very nice. Very nice indeed. So, Arteza was doing like a summer camp thing on their YouTube channel. And kind of on their website. Like, you could sign up for like some newsletters and stuff, and it was for free. And, as far as I could tell, it was for free at first glance. I didn't dig that deep into it. I had seen a reminder on YouTube about, oh yeah, we've got the live stream happening at 1 in the afternoon, and we're gonna do a step-by-step tutorial on how to paint this thing. And it looked like they were gonna do watercolors. And I was like, oh, that's gonna be interesting. I'm like, I don't have time to watch it right now, but you know, hopefully, I can go back and watch a replay of the live stream, because that would be awesome. Well, last night I went back and found it. It wasn't a live stream. They premiered and said it was a live stream, but it was a recorded video. A pre-recorded video. So, it's not a live stream. There was a couple of people trying to explain to them in the comments, that's not what a live stream is. A live stream is having the artist actually doing it in front of you live, so they're there, and you can ask them questions and stuff. It's like, this was not a live stream at all. And, a couple people were a little peeved in the comments. They're like, I wouldn't have wasted my time if I had realized that the artist wasn't going to be there for us to actually ask questions and try to learn something. And I was like, oh boy. And I will say, it was a slightly more in-depth version of the art demos that they've done. But it still wasn't quite to the explanation level that I would have expected for it being part of a quote-unquote summer art learning camp thing. Like, it did kind of present itself as being a little more hands-on instructor-y. And it definitely wasn't in the first video. Maybe the second video will be a little better. I didn't have the chance to watch that one yet. I'm gonna go back and watch that tonight over dinner and see how that one goes. But I mean, it was alright. I mean, you kind of learned a little bit from it, but at the same time I was like, this could have come off with a little bit more of an explanation. And I did find it a little peculiar. What the artist was reading, or saying, you could tell they were reading. And it looked like it was a pre-scripted card that they were reading. Because they said something and they're like, da 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 da, as mentioned above. And I'm like, they actually said, as mentioned above. And I'm like, why would you read something that says, as mentioned above, when you were reading the whole thing? Like, we never saw it in writing. And I'm like, you just... okay. It was very odd. Like, I'm like, yeah, this is definitely scripted, because somebody could have left that part out. Like, I can see, like, needing that in, like, a written format if you're reading it and they're, like, mentioning a technique that they talked about earlier. But, saying out loud, as mentioned above, I was like, what? It was very, like, okay. Above what? It was just... I mean, it was the first one they've done, so... it was just a little disorganized and maybe not 100% worded correctly for what it was going to be. But, you know, they tried. I'll give them that. So it'll be interesting to see how today's video went. It was involving gouache, and gouache has interested me for a while. Ooh, that lag. What is happening? That was interesting. We're almost there, though. We're almost... How much are we at? So 25... 2 more kills, maybe? We get 2,500. So 5 and 6 is 11. 2... Oh, wait. Yeah. 2 and 1 is 3. 1 is... Yeah, I'm thinking 2 more kills here. Trying to quick math it. Eyeball it. I'm not that good at math. Math makes me cry. With the way my brain likes to jumble things around. I mean, it could just be the 1, but I'm thinking it's gonna be an additional kill after this guy. Oh, glasses are sliding. I think I need to try to find my screwdriver. Ooh, what is that? That is a staff. We lose 27. Alright, so this one's indestructible. Oh, so that one's got 51 crit. And 26 stamina. I mean, it is a stam increase. It is a mastery increase. And it is an intellect increase. Oh, I don't know though. Damage 103. 31.7 damage. I mean, overall, it is an upgrade. Alright, well, we'll see what happens. We're gonna hold on to that one for a little bit longer, though. Just in case I don't like this one. I mean, walking away from 51 crit. I mean, we're only losing, what, 30-some crit? But still, that's a lot of crit. But then again, we did get a pretty good intellect bump, which helps the spell power overall. And we did get a bit of a mastery increase, which helps my bubble a little bit. So we'll see. Here we go. Alrighty, 117. Whew, we made it safely. Thank goodness. I was getting a little concerned there with the server lag. None too happy about that. Alright, let's see. What? It's still being a little laggy. Okay, he's photobombing her in the background. Perfect. Alright, let's hearth. And while we're doing that, we'll grab the slash blade. Okay. So let's crop that down. Alright, so WoW challenges. Bloodthirsty Soulsnuffer. So this was the Disc Priest, if you couldn't tell. Ding's level 117, you guys. Oh, we're getting so close. So close. Just a little bit further to go. Slash played time so far is 15 days. 17 minutes. No, we skipped one. 10 hours. There we go. 17 minutes. And 45 seconds. Alright. Our total kills so far on this journey. We are at 27,535. Alright, so we'll go ahead and send that to Twitter. I'm sad because this was indestructible, but I guess we'll vendor it.
What's good here, mate?
So we're at 3802. Let's get rid of the vendor trash first. I mean, it does add up a bit over time. So overall we ended up with 8 bushy tails. That equated to about 113 gold. And 3 antlers through that. So, you know, we got a couple hundred gold here. So not bad. It definitely pays the repair bills, that's for sure. This level wasn't tremendous, but you know, it was something. And not every level can be stupendous. So let's pull out the calendar. That's not the calendar. That's the calendar. So we hit 117 here. So hopefully next week we'll hit 118. 119. And so maybe on the 29th. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, hey, Auction House Dance Party, you guys. Remember, you can't do that on your challengers. That's coming up on the 22nd. It puts a buff on you when you get teleported up to the stage that you can't have. So, just avoid that auction house. It's in Stormwind, it's in the Trade District auction house. If you need to put something up, either use Ironforge or, the Dwarven District in Stormwind. What's Luminous Luminaries? What is this? GG Engineering has discovered luminescent creatures in the depths of Vashir. They need your help to research the creatures before... Oh, that's like the Midnight Jellies from Stardew Valley. Kinda, maybe. Yeah, don't do that on your challengers. Vashir's dangerous. I know there's a couple challengers that go there. I will not be, and I would advise against it. It would not be a wise decision. How long is this event? This is a 1 day only. Yes? I think so. Is it? This looks like a very short event. Or when does this end? When does this end? Is this like a brief... I've never seen this on the calendar before. Like, I don't see... It must be just a 1 day thing, or maybe it's only a couple of hours. That's weird. Oh, hey, they're doing free t-shirt day again. Yeah, that's bizarre. Like, super bizarre. Don't do that event, though. At least don't do it without testing, but I wouldn't do it at all. But that's just me, and I'm a pansy, and I tend to not do anything, and half the time I'm a bloodthirsty and can't do anything anyway because it involves a quest. But, alright. So, that's enough blabbing from me for today. Don't forget, tomorrow we're going to be doing Iron Man, providing I don't have a migraine. So probably around 3 to 4 p.m. Central is when we will be getting started on that. Friday afternoon we'll be doing art. Saturday night is the WoW Challenges podcast with Cell. He'll be on, and I'll be helping co-host this week. And Sunday, we're not doing anything. So, yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you for your time today. Thank you for the new sub. Not sure who my new sub was. I don't see it listed. Someone subbed. Boar Vessel TV. There it is. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. And the follow. And, thank you for everyone's time this evening. I do greatly appreciate it. Be safe on your challengers. Be careful in and out of game. Take care of yourselves. Wash your hands. Wear the mask. And, yeah, I will see everyone tomorrow night. You can find me in Discord, in the WoW Challenges Discord, and, or on Twitter, at NisiBGN. Take care, you guys. Have a good one, and I'll see you tomorrow.